Today marks 1714 day of the lessons, day reflections. And today we speak about less talked about places to grow yourself, to improve yourself, to develop yourself. Because I've thought about there's easy things that we know that is good for you. Reading books, going to conferences, going to a gym, eating healthy. Those are very, very simple to really to understand that that is beneficial for you. But I think that there are some things we can look into. What are less talked about, or maybe even unknown places to grow yourself, improve yourself, and really focus on achieving that. So you can really see yourself in different places, expose yourself in different locations, different things. And I think it's extremely important. Exposure is such an important thing. And I think if we expose ourselves to more things, we're able to achieve tremendous success. I will share 10 things, that 10 places that you're able to really grow and improve. And I think that sometimes it's a hard choice. It's not an easy choice. And sometimes we need to humble ourselves to really do the right thing. And I will share those 10 things, and I think that I will share like why I believe those are such important things. So number one is customer facing jobs. It's interesting because I was listening to a podcast, but I didn't look to what exactly podcast I was listening to. So I might not remember exactly details, but I really loved this. There was a story that a person who really had very successful business in one country, and when he moved to other country, he started to really just, from very very small position. Customer facing job where he's able to see clients day by day, understanding what are the struggles, what they live by, and to understand everything about the client. And how he built a massive, $1 billion, like it's a billion dollar corporation, and just because he was able to really face himself and be humble and learn. And rather than saying that I know everything, he humbled himself. But at the same time, be able to really start some sales jobs, customer support. We're able to really even server. There's so many positions that we're able to really see that we position ourselves. It's not just as a business owner when you really look into okay, understand the market and the industry, but at the same time understanding yourself. And that's okay, I guess the most important thing. Because I love the analogy is that every single person has a cup. Every single have a cup, and in that cup there is our emotions, our beliefs, our understandings, our everything. And a lot of times is when we really put ourselves in a customer facing jobs, that cup will be shaken. It will be shaken very, very hardly. And because it's shaken, everything could come out of that cup. And that means what will come out of that? It will come out jealousy, it will anger, envy, disappointment, inability to really communicate, impatience, or maybe a other total other direction. Maybe you'll understand, okay, you're much more patient than you thought about. And I think that we will be able to really learn how to calibrate when we really have those customers facing shows, when we understand, expose ourselves who we truly are right now, when we see ourselves, that at that moment we're able to, after awareness kicked in, we're able to develop and really calibrate in a way that we need to be. And that improve that emotion regulation because facing other people on daily basis is that other people have bad days as well. And their stuff will trigger our cup to shake and what will come out of that cup. And we will be able to really deal with that and pour out the things that is not necessary and pour in all the things that really matter. Number two, living in people you didn't choose. I know that not every single person might experience that because maybe you grew up with wealthy parents and maybe you started a job immediately and you never needed to really live with anybody. But I think this is a really amazing experience. I lived with probably like 30 different people. I have seen so many different people, good ones, bad ones, based on behaviors that they have. And I have seen it. I needed to really discover myself how good I am with communicate, bringing things up. Because you can be passive aggressive regarding other people if they didn't do what you wanted to do and do something in return. But being able to communicate at the same time how selfish you are, how considerate you are regarding other person that who lives with you. And I think that those are extremely important questions. Do you respect boundaries? Do you able to enforce boundaries? Like all those things are extremely important. And I think that every single person was supposed to experience how to live with other people that you didn't choose because of course at some point you will not have that option. But I think that is a great option to really when you are young to develop yourself, improve yourself and live by choice At the same time, it's a massive benefit. You are saving money, living with somebody. At the same time, you develop emotional regulation, understanding of yourself. Save money to be able to put into the investing, into business, into education, and courses, and in conferences. And it's just I see only pluses for a short period of time. Number three, long-term commitment to one hard thing. It's very easy to start, and there's so much motivation, and it's dopamine. Oh, I start something new. I will be good at it. And 2 3 months come in, you go to the valley of despair, and it's hard, it's boring, it is disappointing, and there's no motivation, there's nothing, no feeling, no nothing. I don't feel anything. So maybe I'm supposed to quit. Maybe I should try it. I don't feel myself in this thing that I'm doing. So probably it's not for me. We can really talk ourselves out of a lot of great things, but I think that every single person able to choose one thing that is, I will stick with this 1 year, no matter what. No matter how desperate I will get, I will stick to this one thing. Now, if you have that one thing, you're able to really explore things and do things, but that one thing needs to be a core because we need to develop that ability to persevere, to keep our commitments, to trust ourselves that when things that truly matters will show up, you will be able to persevere. Because if you never build that skill set to be consistent, disciplined, and have that willpower and ability to do the right thing no matter how you feel, when things show up that really good things, you will not have the skill set. And every single person needs to have something long term that's potentially hard. Number four, solitude without simulation. And I think that one thing is that I just recently learned is that fasting is a beautiful thing. Like when you really don't eat food for a day or so, or for 2 3, it depends on every single person. But how about fasting for our mind? And let's thought about it. Yeah, like I barely did any fasting for my mind. I always used to want to read books, listen to things. Always something in my mind, and barely really have time to really give fasting for our mind. At this moment I do my for my body like a first of the month fasting. I do for the first 3 days. One of those 3 days I said like I will choose to do fasting. Um, but at the same time, I think that even now when I think about it, I need to really allocate a day of fasting for my mind. No input, no nothing, just ability to reflect and really enjoy freedom. Because I think that when you really allow your mind to really relax for a bit, again after that fasting of your mind, you're able to really take in things much better. No music, no scrolling, no nothing, no movies, just even the best, maybe even to go to nature and enjoy the sound of nature. Number five is a physical labor. And this is for a specific person because some people go to accounting, like jobs that there's no physical work. And that's where I used to be. I went to auditing finances, and all I was doing was sitting by the laptop. And when I came to Canada, I didn't speak English, so I was not able to go to back to my career, and I really did the physical labor. And it's such a thing, a beautiful thing. I learned how things work differently. How because it's a beautiful thing when I really think about it. Because I worked in construction and in framing, and I really loved to see how like you start and there's nothing in the ground, and after that you build a whole house, and it's beautiful is that what you're able to really create with your own hands because physical labor is different. You're able to see what you're doing, but regarding accounting, you're just punching the numbers. And I think that's what really physical labor gives humility, endurance as well. Like, there's so many different skill sets that you develop about yourself, and I think that sometimes when you think of okay, if you do physical labor, maybe you're able to really say like how I could really give myself a chance to do some kind of work that is on computer or something with the mind or maybe communicating something that you don't need to do physically. Maybe you're able to really allocate time, maybe writing, maybe art, like painting. Like there's so many things, but something that you doesn't require physical labor. I think that's the beautiful thing when we're able to really explore yourself in different kind of environment. Number six is failure in public embarrassment, and how you handle that. Do you fold or do you get better because of that? Because interesting thing that, but when you already failed, you know how it feels, and you handle that. At that moment, now you stopped optimizing yourself to look good. You optimize to be good. And that's just a massive shift. When you really have been publicly embarrassed and you survive and you still want to pursue the same thing, even with the more power, but because now you know that you focus on creating the best habits and patterns and systems and in place just to make sure that you're really good, not protecting the image of good. And that's fair and public could really do that. Number seven, taking care of someone vulnerable. I think is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Really do something for other person that it might not able to repay you, and at the same time having conversations with elderly young people because it's such a beautiful thing when you actually are open and curious. You're able to learn from very young individuals who are so creative, and you're able to look into and really add what they have into your life. Or maybe you speak with elderly and they are so much wisdom, and you're able to really gather that wisdom as well. Not everything what they will share might be right, but at the same time, you're able to really say how, what they said is right and how I could really use that wisdom of age and growth into my own life. And I think it's a beautiful thing that when we're able to really take care of other people, and that's just taking care of people and be responsible, be dependable, that's what develops character. But at the same time, spending time with them is a great way to learn as well. Number eight, communities where nobody cares about your status. That's a beautiful thing. Being able to put yourself in positions that sometimes, okay, I want to change, I want to improve, I want to really be a different kind of person. And being a different kind of person in the same environment where you grew, where you're empowered and nourished, or maybe diminished, it depends on the environment. It's very hard to really be different because they expect of you what you always been. So sometimes is the best way to really explore who you could be is an environment and community that you never been in. And I think it's a beautiful thing. So basically, once a month I will put in an environment myself that I want to develop some part of me that I want to be better and I want to really communicate differently and you really put yourself in that community and try to be different and really because there's a lot of people fake it to make it. Maybe you're already that person. You don't need to fake it. Maybe you just need to start to really believe that that's the who you truly are. And I truly believe that it's not a fake it to make it. People already they are who they faking it. Just they're not faking it. They just revealing it finally, and they start to really believe what they reveal. Number nine is tracking your behavior honestly. Is such a good thing. I tracked so many different things. I tracked my time, I tracked my energy, I tracked my money, I tracked, and every single time when you track, you realize things. Well, I looked into my values, I looked into the things that where I would love to allocate my time, and then I tracked and like I looked into what the hell is going on. I thought that my time is going here, but it's going actually here. And now when you understand that, because if I, the person who really spends time to reflect, I was so way off with my timing. I think that people underestimate or overestimate the things that they're working on and they don't work on. And I think that's really important just to track your behavior, everything, what matters. And I think like what really matters in my life, and I need to track that. At the same time, what doesn't matter, because I think that it's very important that we allocate our most important resource, energy, into the things that matter, on the major things. Because if we allocate our major time into things that doesn't matter, of course, that's why we don't move in life. And the last one is number 10 is being around people better than you. And I think that this is the last one is the easiest to understand. But sometimes being around people that are better than you is maybe is daunting a little bit because it might potentially could ask questions and you don't know the answer yet, and maybe we want to be looked as smart as they are, want to belong, and we don't want to say I don't know because now we will look bad. Saying I don't know and be facing it that this is where you're at right now and be authentic. I said I will learn it. So what's the question? What's the answer? So could you help me out? And be vulnerable is much better than trying to fake it. That's a bad faking it. But when you're really trying to figure out, oh, I knew it, I just forgot, like, and trying to find excuse while you're thinking about it, saying I don't know right away and say, could you help me to understand what it is? I think is much better, and I think that's being around good people, and because some people Like all people are great. The only thing is that some people have great habits, some people have terrible habits. And with people who with terrible habits is envying better people. People with great habits is learning from better people, and that's a huge shift when I mean every single person needs to learn. So there's a lot of great places to learn, and I think that those, of course, is not endless list. This, and I think that we need to really reflect on it, where I could put myself in, that I could learn, develop, improve, because sometimes we just need to look around, and you will see that there's places that you can learn right now wherever you are if you just choose to. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.